Hey guys, how you guys doing? Seven Figure Moving Academy here, but I'm talking to you about business. There's two time systems that we have in business. And let's talk about it. First time system is the entrepreneurial time system. In that we have a mindset that there is really no time clock. There is no punching in. There's no punching out, right? There's no, I've got to put in 40 hours. Nope, there's none of that. The time system is, I've got a job to do. I've got a goal to attain. I've got certain things I have to meet to actually call it a day or call it a week or call it a month, whatever. I have to do that. So if I have to do 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 50 hours a week, 100 hours a week, that's what I'm going to do to feed myself, feed my family, keep the work balance, keep the life balance and everything. That is the entrepreneurial time system. There is no time clock. The time system becomes what gets accomplished, right? We think in accomplishments. We think in what goals have we attained, what results have been gotten. Right, that is the entrepreneurial time system. The employee time system is I punch in, I do the required work, and at the end of that time, I get paid. And I expect to be highly paid for just doing what I'm clocking in, doing the required work, not doing extra work. No. They're only going to do enough work to get that paycheck. They're only going to do enough to make it so that you're happy with the job, right? That's the entrepreneur. That's the employee mindset. That's the employee. I do it. I do the required work, no extra, no less. I just do enough to make you happy, to make sure that the production is done. I don't care about goals. I don't care about results. I don't care about anything because that doesn't matter to me. Because as long as I do my 40 hours, I do my 30 hours, I do whatever it is, at the end of the week, I get my paycheck. Period. I get to go home. I get to spend it with my family. I get a 3-day weekend on certain occasions. I get a vacation. I get sick days. I get certain benefits if you're in that kind of a business. That's what I get. The more you give me, the more that I will continue to show up. I will give you my time. Right? It's all about me, what you're going to give me. It's not a care. They don't care about results. They don't care about deadlines for the most part. Some do, very few do, right? They don't care if a goal is met, great. If it's not, no skin off my teeth. I get to go home, right? You want me to stay extra? Good. You got to pay me time and a half or double time if it's on a holiday. Right? Oh, you want me to work overnight? You're going to be paying me, and you're going to pay me big, right? Oh, you want me to do something extra? Got to pay me more. It's all about what the employer could give them. That's the employee's time system. The time system is their week, their day, the hours that they work. Right? If they don't get an hour for lunch, oh, all hell's going to pay. No. That's the employee time system. They don't risk anything. They don't give anything. They don't participate in anything. They just do the work. Now, that's fine. And there are some jobs that's all you really want for somebody is just put in the required amount of work to get the certain job done. However, there are those guys who are special, right, that actually know and have the mindset of an entrepreneur. They want to be an entrepreneur. They want to learn. They want to expand. They want to build themselves up. Those are the guys. Those are the unicorns you want. Those are the guys you want to hire. So how do we find guys who have the entrepreneur time system where they don't care about the 40-hour work week? They don't care about the check. They don't care about what the benefits that they can do and accomplish for the business so that they can then move up. See, they care about their paycheck, but the paycheck is actually secondary to what they can accomplish and perform for the company so that they can get a greater reward, so they can move up the corporate ladder. Right? People want all the fancy. They see the boss with the Maseratis, the Lamborghinis, the Porsches. And then the guy down at the very bottom of the totem pole thinks he should have that too. He should be entitled to it too. But all he's thinking it is his 40-hour work week. Right? He thinks he should be able to attain that only doing 40 hours a week. Actually, not that, because there's lunch break and then there's other 10-minute break here, 15-minute break there. There's just, there's an hour of shit show and talking and going online to check emails and BS like that. See, they think they're going to get all these big rewards, the big houses, the boats, the cars, the fancy women, the woman that will be dressed up and look like Marilyn Monroe and screw like Stormy Daniels. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't work like that. You're not being an alpha male. You're not being an alpha female by thinking in that way. No, see, if you want to get what you want to attain things in life, you got to think in goals and things accomplished. What can you get done, right? That is actually going to have value to your workplace, to your customers, and how is it going to have value to your company? I don't care how many hours I have to put in. I'm thinking in goals. I'm thinking in the futures, right? Because I know if I live like no one else is willing to do right now, I know that I can live like nobody else will later on, right? Dave Ramsey talks about this all the time when he talks about that. He talks about eating beans and rice. He goes, if you're willing to live like nobody else is willing to do right now, you're going to live like nobody else will be able to do later on. Right? And it's called delayed gratification. Right? And especially when you're young, you should really have an entrepreneurial mindset. And if you have the entrepreneurial mindset and you go into a business or company, you go to work from whatever position you are, and you have the position that, hey, I'm helping put a man on the moon. Great. Even if you're the janitor and you're sweeping the floor, but you have the idea that you're putting a man on the moon, you're contributing in some significant way that adds value to the company, you're going to go further than you've ever gone for. Now, I know there's going to be the haters out there. Hey, you're full of crap, Jay. Look at, you're fat. You don't got teeth. You don't blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all you're doing is showing me that you're a friggin' simp. You're an incel, mama's boy, living in a basement who can't get laid. I get it. It's no problem. I understand. You're a hater. Your life sucks. You know, I feel for you because my life sucked too at some time. And then I pulled my head out of my ass and I started thinking like an entrepreneur. And I had the entrepreneurial time system. I stopped worrying about the time clock and started worrying about goals and things I want to accomplish. Was I always successful? Hell no. By far. There's people that far surpass me. And am I a little jealous? Tinge. If I'm going to tell the truth, there's a little bit of, a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of enviness. But, all in all, I don't look at somebody's success as something that I should have or I deserve it because I don't. Did I put in the work? Did I put in the effort? Did I have the same drive and passion as that person? No. Did somebody get lucky? Maybe somebody got lucky. Maybe someone had daddy and mommy's money to help them. Okay, great. But I didn't. But could I have done it? There is no, see, if we just have that mindset of causation and action and positivity, no matter what color, creed, gender, don't even get me started there, or whatever things that are in your way, you have the same opportunities as everybody else. There is nobody holding you back. Now, I know there's going to be people, well, if you're a person of color, you don't got the same opportunities. Bullshit. Look at Barack Obama. He wasn't rich, and he became president of the United States. Ben Carson lived in poverty in Detroit. His mom was a single mom that never even went to high school. Could not read or write. And yet he became one of the best surgeons in the world. Right? There are, we have Justice Thomas, who's on the Supreme Court. So don't tell me if you're a person of color that you're just as limited. You've got all this oppression. Shut up. What you have is a weak mind. You got a victimized mind. You have an employee's time system. Stop worrying about the time clock and what you're going to get if you put in the required time period and the required work. Okay, well, it's 5 p.m. Time to clock out. Click. You're wasting 1 minute waiting for that clock to hit 5 o'clock, so you stick that in. And instead of staying a couple minutes later, make sure your desk is cleaned up. Make sure the trash is thrown away. Make sure you have a to-do list or a goals list or something at the end. Check the schedule for tomorrow. See what needs to get done. and see what supplies you need and have them ready and on your desk, ready to go when you come into work. See, these little things. Stop worrying about the time clock and start worrying about the goals that you need to attend. And if you don't want to worry about the goals, you don't want to start adding value, then shut the fuck up when the company owner or the company decides to lay you off because times are tight right now. He laid me off. He has no. Why should he have any loyalty to you when you have the barest of loyalty to them? I worked there 10 years and they fired me. They laid me off. Shut up. You put in hardly any work. You put in no effort. You just did things. You've got, in that 10 years, you might have got a couple of raises. Why? Because you were a good, dutiful little employee. Pat on the back. Good boy, good girl. You're a good girl. Oh, so good, sweetie. Now, here's a treat. Go run along. Right? You are a circus monkey performing for the boss. And that's all you are, and that's all you will ever be. Because you have an employee time system. You got to have that clock in at 9, clock out at 5. Off we go. However, an entrepreneur doesn't have that time system. An entrepreneur starts his day at 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, doesn't end off until 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. Meanwhile, he's talking to his wife, his kids and stuff. He's got the big boat. He's driving the nice fancy cars. And why? Because he deserved it. He worked hard for it. He went out there and made something happen while you just sat around expecting something to happen. There's a difference. Get your attitude straight. And if you want to have the difference, realize there are 2 time systems and figure out which time system you are on. And if you want the better time system, start doing those actions for that. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you liked it, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you hate it, please leave me your friggin' trolling comments down where you leave it from an anonymous thing so I can see and laugh at you, because I'll gladly laugh at you and call you a simp and find out if you loved having sex with your mom. So please do. Leave me a good comment. Leave me a bad comment. I love them all. And if you didn't like that thing, shut the fuck up and go away. Otherwise, guys, thank you. I love you. I like you. Go and do something great today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.